Hello, 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 everyone. It is Elsid932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to cover episode 5 of Ready to Love. Please make sure you have hit that like button, you are subscribed to the channel, and you have your notifications on so that you know when I go live or drop great content. Now, Love is Blind Italy, a lot of those recaps have already been dropped. So make sure you check that out too. So, Love is Blind, Ready to Love this week. Xavier was sent home last week. That's why his name, is no longer red. He was sent home last week. Now, the men are in charge. The men are in charge. So, because of that, Tommy took the men to the Queen of Soul's home, Aretha Franklin. And, the fashion sense, some were fashioning and some were not. Okay. Darius came out in his color fur as usual. And this time, Carde, I noticed that shirt had the wrinkle lines that it came fresh out of the pack. Okay, y'all been doing so well. I've been complimenting the Detroit men on being very well dressed, and Carde, you done messed it up. Okay, so we see that Christina is kind of scared because she's going to focus on her two main connections. And I said, but she asked 3 men for money. She asked 3 men for money. So did Bella fall off on her list of the 3 men since she's going to focus on her 2 connections? So we keep hearing all kinds of talk about Darius's fur for this party. It is the 70s party. It's the Motown night. Okay. And we keep hearing all kinds of talk about Darius's fur. He has the full-length chinchilla pattern. And no one is talking about Lauren's fur. Did anybody not see that Lauren walked in with a full-length black mink? I'm just saying. Lauren also was wearing the fur and seems to be, she was, I guess, overshadowed by Darius's look. So Lauren and Christina talk about the elephant in the room, which is the B word, and the use of the B word by Vince in relation to Lauren. Lauren doesn't know if anything he can say can make her feel comfortable with him again. Now, Christina says, it speaks to his character and it is in poor taste. She doesn't like the B word. But I find it interesting, Christina, when we first met you said Detroit men were territorial. You said Detroit men were territorial, and in your words, you're like, yes, that's my B. So, Christina, the math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. Are you just upset because Lauren is upset? Because I clearly remember you using it in your introduction in your confessional. Okay. Let me not go down that rabbit hole too far. Now, Carde allows Shannon to play in his hair, the wig, but it still is hair. And I found that quite interesting. Nicole tells Ed if someone asked her to describe him, she could only say that he is fine as heck. And Ed said, hey, but how about I'm a good person? Ed, I don't think she believes you're a good person. Ed, I don't know if Nicole believes you're a good person. But Ed, you're right. She kind of it sounded like she objectifying you if this is the entire conversation. Hey, to go to Africa. Good to see you. Glad to have you here. Hey, Chicago girl. And hello there, the locked queen. Nicole, if all you could talk about is how fine he looked, I'm going to have to look at you sideways. If this was the entire conversation, because you said you got flustered, he makes you nervous. If this is the entire conversation that you could just say that he looked good, I'm going to have to look at you the way we look at men who just say that's a pretty woman. There's more to Ed than a pretty face. Ed ain't my favorite, but I got to stand up and say, girl, please tell me you said something more and they just cut it out. Please tell me. Is Ed your person then, Nicole? Or is he more a status symbol of your undergrad past? Because all I keep hearing is the little girl inside you that was an undergrad. The young lady is all about Ed. Okay. I'm kind of looking at you sideways, Nicole. Vince and Donna, he said he working out in the gym and he's flexing his pecs. Another interesting moment, y'all, for me. Very interesting. Because funny how, Vince was talking about Emily, okay? Emily, who was voted out in this row right here. Emily, about she has her chest out, and her chest is, front and center. Yet Vince has no problem trying to flex his chest and draw attention to it with Donna. But hey, Donna finds him funny. I guess he needs a connection or two. But I find it quite funny you're going to talk about Emily's chest, yet you showing yours and drawing attention to it. I'm just saying, Vince. Sounds a little suspicious to me. But Vince likes that Donna gets his sense of humor, and she is a sweet lady. He invites her to join him in a gym since she expressed that she needs to be more consistent. That's nice. They can have a, gym date. Now Tommy arrives, Tommy got a good unit, somebody glued that real tight on his head, okay? And he had a butterfly collar. I was hoping more of the men had the butterfly collar look. Okay, they had regular shirts. The butterfly collar is what made it, pop, young man. So Tommy says, a woman is going home. Why are they acting surprised? If Xavier went home, why are we acting surprised that a woman may go home this week? I just don't understand it. So Christina tells Bello that every man that she has ever dated wanted to marry her, but she does not marry liars or cheaters. But apparently you date them, Christina. Christina, it sounds like you date the liars or cheaters. You may not marry them, but you certainly date them. Watch the words, because editing is getting you. Watch the words you use. We see Lauren and Vince. He sincerely apologized, y'all. In all the banter I have with Vince, Vince did give a top tier apology. I wonder if he has practiced apologies so much so that he's got it right now. But he sincerely apologizes. He wanted to do it in person, not in text or anything. He wanted to do it out in the open. Now she accepts his apology and believes that he is remorseful. Also, doing it in front of the camera makes sure that she has to accept the apology too and be gracious. Because ain't no way she's going to tell him about himself if she was off camera. That's just my guess. Okay, that's just my guess. Most people accept an apology when they're in front of the camera and do so graciously. We do see Cartier flirting with Dominique. And I kept saying, he don't have a chance. I kept saying with Cartier and Dominique, he don't have a chance. Let's go to the next section, okay? Do you know that he was Lauren's connection? Yes, he was Lauren's connection. Yes, I believe so. That's why she wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's why she wanted to give him some grace. Yes, he was Lauren's connection. But is he still? If he is still Lauren's connection, I'm going to have to look at Lauren sideways. Because she clearly told us in her confessional that she says that she has been called the B before, and she will never accept that from anyone again. So, and now I got to look at Lauren sideways anyway. You made a connection with a man, and he's quick to say and call you a B word. Okay, the discernment. I already told y'all. And Vince could certainly come up and say if he was misquoted, whatever. But we've already had two, women that Vince has talked about in a negative manner, in a highly negative manner. You could not like somebody, but he's talked about them in a highly negative manner. She said that he and Bella were her connections. I saw that. Yeah. Okay. Bella's your connection. Okay. Bello has eyes elsewhere. Bello got to have his son. Has Bello told Lauren that he got to have his son? Is Lauren, willing to produce that son? I just don't know. Don't know at all. I don't see those connections going anywhere, but that's just me looking on the outside at a produced, edited show. We do say Ashante and Darius. We hear that they have been talking a lot. Okay. He says he's feeling her and tells us that he is a photographer as well. So I could kind of guess that because, hey, if you're into fashion as much as Darius is, the next thing in line would be a photographer. I mean, who else is going to take the appropriate photos of what he's wearing for the journal? Okay. She tells him to look up at her eyes. He's drifting down into the valleys below because she has a very severe neckline. He's looking down into the valley, and she said, look up. Okay. Um, they laugh and talk about the fact that her chain is being swallowed. Her chain is being swallowed into the valleys. Okay. Hey, Rana, good to see you. Glad to have you here. Now we see Christina and Chris. He's asking something and she cuts him off, and she says she has let go men who did not meet her expectations. She will just sit back and watch. I'm like, but not here. Not here. You're not just sitting back and watching what men do. Here you are being forward and asking them for what you want. But Christina tells him that before you become my man, I got to know what you will give me. Alrighty then. Then Chris shares with us that he was shocked that she had asked 3 men for the money. He didn't know. He didn't know the massage thing was a big deal. And you don't look too hurt about it, Chris. Chris, you do not look too hurt about the fact that she kind of tossed you to the wayside. And Christina, considering that the men are in power, this is not the type of conversations to be having, young lady. Child, there's so much that we don't know yet. There's a couple of podcasts with them on it that will blow your mind. I could use it could cause you to change your recap. I understand. And that's why to go to Africa, yes, that there will be podcasts galore, but I'm watching the show. And if it is something different, then I know it is definitely production and production led. But I'm watching the show. Okay. I'm seeing what they're telling us and what they're showing us. And I know there's a lot being left out as well. So we see Bello and Dominique. She says she talked to everyone. Okay. That she talked to everyone but him. He proved also that he knew where she was at every moment. He said, you were sitting over here with that person. You were over there with that person. He was keeping an eye on her. He asked her about her passions and what she's working on. And she does mention a store that she wishes to open, and he offers to find her the location. He offered. He wasn't pushed. He wasn't asked, Christina, that we saw. He says he needs an ambitious wife. She says she is overwhelmed by his presence, and he snatches the wig off. And I thought the whole hairline was going to come off with it, but hey. But they agree that they are not going too fast. Well, it is the process. Bella said that he gave her the money. She also got it from Devon. Okay, then why Bella look so surprised with the oxtails? Was he just full? Was he just full? He sent it to her afterwards? But he said in the confessional, if she's after my wallet, this ain't gonna fly. We know there's a duality to people in these shows. Okay. Devon and Shannon, they, have been talking for a long time on the phone. It's comfortable. He does express that he works out. She enjoys Pilates, and she does invite him. And he accepts because he is comfortable with his sexuality. Devon says she's pretty and it is distracting, and she appreciates the compliment. She's never been told she's distracting before. I like this. Shannon also likes it because Devon is like, hey, you invite me to Pilates, I'll come. I'll come to the class. I'll work out. Devon seems to be very open to the ladies that are open to him. Let's put it that way. Okay. The ladies that are giving him a chance, he's like, yeah, sure, let's go. I think of all the people, except for the money he sent, Devon is kind of like moving through this like, okay, I'm trying to figure out who I can really date. We see Ashanti and Steven. He mentions that she got him saying some slick shh out his mouth. She agrees. She's like, yeah, you be saying some slick stuff. They have a great banter in this little moment, okay? They have a great banter in this whole moment here. Now we see Christina and Vince. She mentions the B word being used in a dating setting. And Vince feels that if she heard something about him from someone else, we know she heard from someone else, that she should have come to him and asked him, not just run with it. But Vince, did she lie? I understand the premise, Vince. She should have come to you. She should have asked you, hey, I heard this about you. Before I air you out in the women's lounge, Before I air you out in the women's lounge, Vince, do you have something to say? She could have done that. Maybe, maybe not. She could have. That would have been polite. But he said you should ask before making a judgment. So Vince asked her about the massage. And y'all, I think this conversation was planted by production. I think they pushed them together because I don't think Vince would want to have a conversation with her that night. I don't think he'd want to avoid her because Vince was taking it left and right that night. He says she also feels, it looks like she's happy she got stuff from the men. And she's like, when someone has connections, you know, that after 2 days they'll lick your neck. I said no. No. Of course, all of this, y'all, is an edited, produced show. Okay? Okay? It's an edited, produced show. So Vince said, we know what she's ready for. She's ready to get paid. She ain't ready for love. She's ready to get that dollars. She says anything her mother wanted, her father got for her, and that is her example. But Christina, I got to tell you, your mama was married to your father. There's a certain level of responsibility a husband bears. Your mama was married. And we don't know the details. And sometimes we as children don't even know the details of our parents' marriage at all. So, but your mother got after she was what? The wife. But Vince agrees that they are just not compatible. It's so easy. It's so easy to be like, oh, we ain't compatible. Let me go stage left. Now, let me see what y'all are saying. Christina said that production mishandled the situation. She told them that she had been in a car accident and needed the massage because of her pain. Okay. Dominique said that Devin was free with his money. He gave money to her and to Christina. Okay. Devin is free with his money, and he's a grown man. He could be free with his money. He could be free with his money. The thing with the whole massage, and she needed money for it, I need to know. Christina is also a masseuse. She knows no other masseuse. Production didn't make Christina say some of the things she said. Chicago Girl said, I ain't buying it. I don't want to hear it because she was wilding. Again, I need to know more details because Christina doesn't know any masseuse. Okay? Okay? Here come. She did lie because that's not what I said. Well, Vince, welcome in. Thank you for stepping up. I am glad that you said she did. You're saying she lied. Well, I'm going to need to know who the person is that told her. Who is the other head on the pillow talking to her, lying on you? And I hope you handled it. I hope you either had a conversation or you stopped talking to that person. Because clearly they're running news about you and it's getting back like messenger to the ladies' lounge. Who is pillow talking with Christina and letting her know the lies on Vince? And so she's carrying it through. Oh, Vince said he definitely handled it. Now, Vince, to be messy, I would like a name, but you could keep it. You could keep that name. You don't have to put any names here. The truth comes out in the wash. But I'm glad you appeared, and I'm glad you let us know that she did lie and that you handled it with whoever it was. And that handling could be off camera. Okay? I don't mind if you handle that one off camera, because guess what? The pillow talk was off camera. The pillow talk with Christina was off camera. So I'm glad you handled, what should I call it this time, though? What should I call it? It's not pillow talk, because I know Vince ain't had no pillow talk or whoever, okay? Vince said it was on camera. Well, I hope they show it to us, Vince. And if they don't at the end of the season, could you please let us know? Could you please let us know at the end of the season? If they ain't show it to us, we know at the end of the season, you could let us know. I don't want you violating any agreements that you have out there. Okay. Now thank you, Vince, for coming through. Thank you so much. Now here's a moment that I know some people have missed. Okay. I know there's, a moment a lot of people, I've been in these YouTube streets and a lot of people miss this. Lauren, Christina, and Devin was sitting together. Christina was running her hand up Devin's leg and saying she likes how it feels. Hello, Christina, you're doing too much. Even Lauren was like, oh, whoa, how does it feel? Does it feel like boyfriend material? Because I saw Lauren's face and it was like, I didn't see where her hand went. I didn't see how far her hand reached, but Lauren's reaction told me it was a little too far. It was a little too far. Christina, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. We all know that Devin already sent the Cash App. What are we angling for? More? More Cash App? What are we rubbing this man's leg for? That's all I'm asking. And Lauren, I saw your reaction, so I knew it was too much. But y'all go back and watch that moment. And Christina was a little bashful after Lauren was like, oh, how does it feel? When Lauren called her out a little bit, she did pull back. Was that a little bit of remorse or just you are sorry you were caught? Okay. Then we see Ashante and Darius. We find out that he's been celibate for a time. Okay. And around here on this channel, we need numbers. Okay. Just like Donna is a mathematician, we are not, but we like numbers. What's a time, Darius? What's a time? Because we need to know exact time. We have heard this before. He practiced semen retention, withholding his release. They both chuckle about it. Now, we have heard this before, okay? We have heard this before on what? Ready to Love Houston, the resort season. We've heard this. Darius, here's my problem. Here's my problem. You are reminding me too much of Ready to Love Houston resort season. First, you are a luxury car salesman. We know how that turned out with that contestant. And now you're telling us about retention. We know how that worked out with that contestant. Now, I'm not going to prejudge you as harshly as Donna did, but it didn't work out for either one of those men. It didn't work out in this whole dating show context with either one of those men. Okay? Now, hey, Miriam, good to have you here. Good to see you. Yeah, Chicago girl, you need to watch it. You need to watch how that hand goes up Devin's leg. You need to watch it. You need to watch it. Go watch it again. That's why I have to watch it a second time without y'all, because y'all do distract me. We have a good old time watching it live together and be in the chat on Fridays. Now, Ashley says she has reservations about her connection with Darius. As you should, Ashley. Chris says he's worried that he won't find his person. He's telling this to Nicole. And of all the people, I wish Chris didn't have this conversation with Nicole. Because Nicole is giving me anxious energy of the same sort. Like she is worried about whether or not she will find her person. And as far as I could tell, she is open to dating the other men, but it seems like she's still yay wide open with Ed. Yeah. And if it ain't Ed, she might find that she can't find her person. I'm worried about Nicole. Nicole does think the same, and she's worried she may go home. Now, Chris does find her quite beautiful, but does she even see Chris in a dating light? I'm not saying that, they couldn't get along together, but I haven't seen much other than their first date where we also saw Emily and Vince. And I guess we were more focused on the train wreck. That was Emily and Vince's interaction. I wouldn't even say date. Okay? I wouldn't even say date. But I'm wondering, because even though that was a great date, that's how we find out that Chris's tattoo was of fruits and vegetables going up his arm. I don't see any chemistry there. But again, this is an edited, produced show. Now, we do see that Ashley and Darius talk. He says he wants an extraordinary woman because he's an extraordinary guy. And she asks, have you had that feeling before? And Darius says, yep, I'm having it right now. Now, Darius, you're sounding like a player. You're sounding like a player. That's some slick talk right there. It just fell out. I was like, oh, okay. We playing. Darius says that they have been on the phone for like 4 hours at a time. They fall asleep on the phone together. And she tells us that she has had walls up because, guys don't always do what they say they were going to do. Well, Dara said he has a sledgehammer for those walls. He ain't climbing them walls. He tearing them down. Okay. Mm. That didn't sit well with me. I know it was some slick talk, but it didn't quite sit well with me. But he said, he is here to tear those walls down. She said he is very loving and is too friendly with the other women. I see we're getting a little territorial. Christina told us that the men in Detroit are territorial, but I think she forgot the women are too. So they agree that they are locked in. They do a pinky swear. And she leans in for a kiss, y'all. And he kisses her gloved hand. And I side-eye that whole situation. I said, oh, Ashley, you thought locked in meant that was your man. You thought locked in that he was going to kiss you in public in front of everybody. No. No. What I'm going to do is pinky swear you, and I'll kiss your gloved hand because anyone in the room will make it seem like I'm kissing my own hand. How about that? That's some slick moves. But hey, Ashley liked it. Hey, who am I to say that this ain't what's meant for her? We see Donna sitting with Ed. She feels like she was misinterpreted. But the tone of the conversation kind of sounds like when Vince was talking to Ashanti. It's like, no. Did you hear what I said? Did you get me? Because I don't want you taking this and turning it around and serving it to other people in a different way. Did you hear me? So now I see how Donna and Vince, very similar approaches in this. She said there was a miscommunication about her spirituality and she wants to be understood. Ed said, yep, you're still on your spiritual journey. I get it. She's like, I'm not on no journey. I know who I am and what my spirituality is. See, she's still being misunderstood. Donna, I'm going to tell you this. Ed ain't the messenger. Ed is not the messenger at all. Ed said they are misaligned because he believes that Jesus is God. Okay, Ed, that's okay. That's okay. But before we talk about people's religion, I think we need to get things right because that has a ripple effect for the rest of the people listening in. Because if someone is very strong spiritually, they will just cast her aside and not even think about her. Now, she does not like the misconceptions of her, and she thinks she may be on the chopping block tonight. We see Nicole and Ed. She says she will plan a romantic Zoom date for them, even if they don't get a date. Nicole, I need you to stand down. Can we stand down and just have Ed ask to go on a date with you? Could we just do that? I understand y'all can't see each other in person unless it's filming. That's why you said Zoom date. You could do FaceTime, Zoom date, whatever. But again, stop chasing this man. Because pretty soon I'm going to think you're going to chase him out of Detroit just to avoid you. All of this thought that I keep hearing about you and Ed is the thought of in college. Nicole, we're not in college anymore. We in undergrad. We are not in college. We have graduated. We have matriculated. I need you to matriculate away from Ed. Could we do that? Could we let Ed chase you? Could we let Ed show his interest in you? Because it's kind of irking me like Ashley was irking me saying, Ed, I told you I like you. Do you like me? Stop chasing him. If the man is interested, you can say, hey, I am interested, and then sit back and watch how he moves. Stop chasing him, Nicole, please. Production, please stop showing me Nicole chasing him. I'm tired. I'm tired of coming at her for this. And I know this is not the only thing Nicole is doing. Okay, because she had a great date with Devin. Okay, she had a great date or interaction with Chris on that date. Please stop showing me. And I know next week we're going to see her on a date with Ed, and I'll be like, oh, could we please put like in this? Now Tommy arrives and he takes the men onto the back patio. They're going to have to pick. Now Ashanti does say something that is so me. Ashanti said, they better have my back. Y'all better have my back. Because if she's on the chopping block, then somebody lying. I said, tell him, Ashanti, somebody is lying to me if I'm on the chopping block. Y'all, I'll have a clip of that for you coming out later this week. Members, y'all will get it, I think maybe tonight or tomorrow, but everybody else, it will come out throughout the week, okay? Now, I have for you to list. So the people who they're feeling, Ed says Nicole, okay? He's pulling back the layers, and I'm like, yeah, right. You don't sound convincing, Ed. Ed, just like you didn't sound convincing in front of Aretha Franklin's house when you're like, why did Tommy call us here? Anybody know why we're here? It wasn't convincing at all. I'm sorry. And I know y'all say multiple people and production just shows one name. I understand. I understand. Production just shows one name, and I'm sure you said more than Nicole. Steven says Ashanti 4 times. So Ashanti, I hope you're happy. You know, he was chanting your name. He was chanting your name. I hope you're happy. Okay? In seeing this recap or this episode. Darius says Ashley, and then there's a tie with Ashanti and Dominique. But Darius, I thought you were locked in with Ashley. Did you mention that? Did production cut that out of what you said? Because it's we saw you say y'all locked in. Okay. Carde says Dominique. Okay. Devin says Shannon and Dominique is still his boo. I'm glad you're saying Shannon first. I'm hoping that's the order in which you said it. Because yeah, Dominique's still your boo. Okay. Chris says Nicole. Bello says Dominique. Of course, I was expecting that. But y'all notice something? Vince, if you're there in the chat, Vince, if you are still here, did y'all notice something? Did we hear Vince's choice? Haha. Did we hear Vince's choice? No, we did not. We did not hear Vince's choice. Y'all, I rewound the whole thing. I said, wait a minute. I'm counting out the names because I list the men's names and then I list who they chose. And I said, huh. Oh, y'all didn't want us to hear that Vince chose Donna. Oh, y'all don't want us to hear that one of the ladies on the bottom, y'all don't want us to hear that he chose Donna. But I find it quite interesting when y'all play these games, production, because when you don't show me what somebody says, it sends my mind in a tizzy. And Vince, I know you can't say who you chose, but my suspicion is that you did choose Donna. That's my suspicion. But we did not hear Vince's choice in who he liked. We heard all the other men, but Vince. Okay? They assume we would know by his facial expression. Probably. You're so smart when you want to be. When I want to be, Vince. When I want to be. And it's not often I want to be when I'm live. Not often I want to be when I'm live. This is just for giggles and stuff. So who they're not connecting with? Vince says Christina. Oh, all of a sudden we hear Vince now. Vince was the first one to speak. All of a sudden, Vince is the first one to speak. Oh, it's Christina. Because she's leading with the money thing for him. It's not for him. Oh, okay. Because I had to rewind it again. Why y'all silencing Vince? Okay. Now Chris says Christina, 85% of her he likes, but then the other part, it kind of overshadows the whole 85. I said, okay. Bello says Christina. Darius says Donna because she prejudged him. Ed says Donna. Devin says Donna because she's just too busy. And Vince said one of my favorite lines too. Ashanti gave me a favorite line earlier with the, they better not be lying to me. And then when Devin said she's too busy, Vince said, no, she's too busy for you. Donna don't want to be seen with you. She don't want to go out with you. She ain't too busy for me. And I just remember the song from back in the day, I'm not too busy for you. I'm not too busy for you. That's exactly what the song was running through my head when I was watching it. Vince said, yeah, she's not too busy for me. She don't have time for you and not feeling you. She really smart. I know. Hey, Vince, I am used to joking and laughing. I was raised around a group of guys, so that's why I could kind of get the gist. Just with profanity and name calling, I'm not here for it. We can go back and forth with behavior and what you do and what you say, but not, not that. So Tommy lets everybody back in, and Devon gets the honor of saying who's going home or who's on the chopping block. Devon gets the honor. I guess, Devon, did you send Tommy a Cash App too? Devon, are you only sending Christina the Cash App, or did you send other people the Cash App so you are the one able to come up here and announce who's on the bottom? I'm just asking, Devon. You could just say yes or no. We don't need to know how much Cash App you sent in order to be the one to announce this. I'm just saying. Y'all, I'm just funning with Devon. I don't know that he paid Tommy at all. So these two lovely ladies, Donna and Christina, were called to the front. We're told Christina has great energy, but the expectations on finances is the issue. Christina says she needs action and she will not change her expectations of the men she dates. Okay, Christina. Then maybe these ain't the men you should be dating. Donna says she is smart. No, not Donna. Devon says Donna is smart, intelligent, great energy, but too busy to find love, and the religion is a concern. Donna does say she's nervous. Y'all, they end the episode on a cliffhanger, and you know how we feel about cliffhangers around here. Y'all, if y'all are members, y'all know y'all got tomatoes in your emojis. You could certainly use that because we don't like cliffhangers around here. Okay? What in the Project Runway is going on? Because y'all, last season Project Runway, we couldn't stand it because we couldn't find out who going home till the next episode. Now, the previews say that they're going to clear skeletons from the closet. They're going to clear skeletons from the closet. And it looks like somebody's taking a Pilates class. Bello tells Lauren that he has a 1-year-old daughter. She looks like she's freaked out a little bit. Dominique is surprised that she had a wonderful date with Cardi. He was anticipating a kiss, he says, Cardi, but they're both like lost in the moment. Ashley tells Bello that she has been in therapy for 3 years, and he held her hand and kind of walked her through that emotional moment. We do see that Nicole finally has her date with Ed. Thank you. Woo. She says she's feeling all the things, but Ed looks like he is feeling like running. I'm sorry. Ed, your facial expressions on that date that we see, it looks like you feel like running. But we do see her crying and leaving that she's not going to do this. Ed, did you rip the Band-Aid off? Did you rip the Band-Aid off? Okay. I need to know. I really need to know if you did. Yeah, thank you. Did they send Devon because Christina is his connection? I don't know. They could have sent anybody. I mean, heck, they could have sent Darius in his fur so people could get an actual look-see at him. Okay. Look-see at his whole coat. A number of men could have been out front. Do you think it's a possibility they'll keep them both? I don't know. They may, because y'all, we see Donna in the previews. Sorry, Vince, but when we see the preview of Darius checking Vince, we see Donna leaning over about it. Okay. And two, although Christina is great for ratings, asking the contestants for money could be a liability. Okay. It could be a liability if you are asking my contestants for money. What else are you asking for? These are people you just met. So I would, even though she is comedy gold for some, and she's also kicking up dust, she's telling all the business, I don't think she'll be good for business. Okay. She needs to go. Yeah, she needs to go. I would pick Christina to go home. Hey, Jaguar, good to see you. How come I didn't get notified? I just happened to see the live. You don't want me around anymore? I want you around, Jaguar. I don't know. It sounds like a you problem. Do you have the notifications on? Because you know I'm around here at 5 o'clock EST. We are around here 5 p.m. EST, most of my lives, except for my messy member lives, which members, we having a messy member live come Thursday at 7 p.m. EST. Okay, if you didn't watch the member, member live on Monday, we're going to do a reaction of another Pop the Balloon, and we're going to have a good old time over there. It's going to be an interesting one. Okay? Christina needs to go. Okay, Christina. Yes, she does. She's the one sent next. I hope so. I believe that Ed is feeling her. He's somewhat stoic. Oh, you think so? Ed is that good? Oh, okay. All right. I guess some people would like someone who is chasing them. Some people. Hey, just Rhonda 01, y'all. If you are feeling all of your housewives, you're married to medicines, and you're loving marriages, whatever, just Rhonda is covering it. She is also covering Ready to Love. I believe you did it last night, Rhonda, at 7 p.m. She's usually 7 p.m. EST. So please check out her channel as well. Okay. Set it to personalized. What's your schedule? I'll swap it to all and see. Yeah, 5 p.m. EST is exactly what I'm usually live. 5 p.m. EST, even on the weekends. 5 p.m. EST. Except for Friday, at 7:45 p.m. EST, we are watching Ready to Love together right before the show airs at 8 p.m. But yes, when I'm going live is usually 5 p.m. unless you are a member. Okay, but remember, we're going to do a reaction. We got permission to do a reaction. I gave you all the breaking news, so we're going to do a reaction on somebody else's content that we have permission to do. So y'all, that was the end of it. They give us a cliffhanger, Tommy. I know it took us 10 years for y'all to stop, getting people gone on the first mixer. Please don't let it be 10 years before we stop having cliffhangers. Please. I could have done with a little less Motown dancing. We had too many, dance-a-thon, the Soul Train lines. I could have done without those and see exactly who's going home. See exactly who's going home right away. Because I don't need to know if Christina is going to still be here. She could just go home. Thank you. I didn't talk about the baby. Which baby? You mean the previews of Bello talking about his 1-year-old with Lauren? Is that what you're talking about to go to Africa? Okay, is that what you're talking about? Hey, Blade Owens, good to have you. Good to see you here. Good to have you here. I'm looking at the picture. Unless you've recently changed it, it seems like is your first time here. Thank you for being here. She won't. She's out the door. Trailer confirmed it. Jaguar. Well, I hope you will be with us. I open up the live at 7:45 EST so we can have. Okay, Blades Owen, glad to see you here at 7:45 EST. Before the Ready to Love on Fridays, we watch it live together. So we will see which one of these ladies go home. My vote is on Christina since we saw Donna. And the reason why I say Christina like that is because Christina from Diary of a Mad Black Woman, when she was taking care of the husband and she was yelling out Christina for him and telling him Christina left with all his money. Okay. But Chicago girl, you got homework. You got to go back and look at that Lauren, Christina, and Devin moment. Oh, wait a minute. You fit right here. You will fit right in here, Blades Owen, because somebody before said, hey, both of these ladies can go. But then what's going to happen to Vince? Vince going to go home. Who else is Vince's connection? Vince going to go home. Is that why we didn't hear Vince say anybody else's name? Because they planning and plotting that Vince going to be the next man to go home? Unless somebody acts wild, it seems like it's on a trajectory for Vince to go home. Because if y'all send Donna home, who else is Vince feeling? Who else can save him? Nobody else is really feeling him. Thank you, Vince, for coming through. Yes, thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you for coming through. You're welcome here anytime. Anytime you have permission to talk to, you're welcome to come up here, okay? And if you don't want to be out in the open, we could do a members live conversation. Now Vince is safe for a bit. Again, I got it from the same trailer. Yeah, he's safe for a bit. We know that. We know that. Not loving my Jesus girl. Need to leave. Not calling Donna Jesus girl. Oh my word, dude. You're gonna fit right in Blades Owens. Vince has more connections than we've seen. I think so. I think so. Whenever they start doing things like that, I know that Vince has said more names and they are intentionally leaving it out so we don't see him. We don't know, and they can make a justification to why he's there and leave us like, I wonder why he's there. Who else likes him? Who else could even be feeling Vince? That's what it is. And all they did is show us him with Donna. Oh, I know. They got to say more than one name. Just like, okay, y'all, okay? Here's another reason why Vince has more connections that we haven't seen. Look at Cardi. How many people have we seen Cardi hang with and give a good impression? Many of the women. That don't mean all of them are connections. Okay? Just run and say, who you calling a beat? UNITY, Queen Latifah. Yes, y'all thank Vince for coming through. Vince was able to clear up some stuff without saying much, because we ain't gonna be violating no NDAs around here. Vince was able to clear up a few things earlier that I was on the right track when thinking of what's going on with the edit as far as he's concerned, but without saying much. We know he can't say specifics. Okay. You was on your best behavior. Okay, I see you on your best behavior. They haven't shown us Lauren's connections either. Nope, they haven't shown us Lauren's connections. They haven't shown us Ed's connections. I mean, all we heard tonight was Ed feeling the cold. That ain't it. That ain't it. Cardi gives 3 on a possible. Yes, he is giving 3 on a possible. And it depends on the hair he wears. If you got the curly hair, Ashante really feeling him. They're twinning. Okay, if you got the straight hair, that may be, Ashley with the straight hair. If you got the braids, Dominique was feeling it when he had the braids. Okay. Not press and perm against all the girls, but I kind of like him. Not you saying press and perm. You missed it when we were doing it. I said the first time we see him in the braids, he spent all night undoing them braids in time for the skate party. So he'll be, curly and natural. Then all of a sudden we spend the next night straightening it, pressing it out. Carter's spending more time on his hair than the outfits. I don't know. I'm just making fun, y'all. Okay. I wonder if Vince got a bad edit. To go to Africa. Somebody got to be the villain. Somebody got to be villain. Who else? Who else is going to be the villain? Who we got out here being villainesque? We got Vince, Chris, Bello, Darius, Ed, Devin. Who else? Nobody else has got a villain edit. None of the other men have done anything that, and here y'all, let us have ourselves a little pillow talk. Let us have a little pillow talk. Since Vince said he left the room, let us have some pillow talk. And one of y'all could run back and tell Vince, okay? All the hair is bad. Not all his hair is bad. No. Let's have our little pillow talk, okay? Let's talk about why the ladies ain't thinking I'm finding it suspicious that Bello having a 1-year-old ain't that much of a huge issue. I find it suspicious, okay? Because Vince can't tell us who lied on him to Christina, but it could be to, get him gone, get him kicked out. They're going to need him to be, he making all the ladies laugh. The ladies are tickled around Vince, so I got to get him gone because he got the personality that he may get the ladies. So I'm going to just sprinkle. I'm going to just sprinkle on Vince's name so that the ladies will look at him twice. But then my problematic behavior will be overlooked. I'm just saying we don't know who the pillow talk was. Vince came in earlier in the chat and told us, you know, the person lied on him and he handled it. That's all we need to know. After the season, we're gonna ask him some more about it. Okay, we're gonna ask him some more after the season. We can't be violating NDAs. He said it was caught on camera, him checking the person. And I wonder anyway. Yeah. I have my suspicions as to which gentleman was pillow talking with Christina and told her, but it'll depend on the type of pillowcase. Is it 100% cotton or is it silk pillowcase? I need to know. Based on the pillowcase, I'll let you know whose head was. And y'all, I'm being facetious with whose head, but they said pillow talk is just chilling talk. Ain't nobody, laying on the same pillow. But who is pillow talking with Christina to let her know or lie to her on Vince? Because I'm saying a man would only lie if he's trying to get one up on the other gentleman. And in this case, the ladies were finding Vince funny until this whole B-gate came out. Love me some Dominique. She needs to teach a masterclass. Dominique can teach a masterclass. But for me, it is a masterclass because a lot of ladies have lost the art of subtlety in seduction. That's why she could teach a masterclass. I'm sick of Cardi and his different hairstyles. Okay, Chicago girl. I'm tired of the color of the hair, but I'm not sick of the hairstyles. I want him to be himself and present himself how he feels through his hair. Darius and Devin stay on the phone. Darius and Devin stay on the phone? I guess they stay on the phone with the other ladies. Yeah, that's what we heard. Okay. You need to know what type of pillowcase too? Black hair spray proof pillowcase. So you saying it's one of the Beijing Brotherhood members. Okay, y'all, we say that there's a Beijing Brotherhood here. Okay. There's a Beijing Brotherhood. And we know Darius and Bello are card carrying members. But the black hair spray proof, okay. Bingo, Dominique is classy. That she is. She's a siren. Forget people who say mermaid. She's a siren. Okay. She has learned the art of subtlety and suggestion. They show Darius telling Vince to shut the F up in a preview, but we haven't seen the follow-up. We have not. And that may be where my mind is heading as to which man was having pillow talk. But we don't hear him talking to Christina. Maybe I'm missing the Dominique frenzy. I don't see it. Okay. Lotus, here's the Dominique frenzy you're missing. Here's the Dominique frenzy. Dominique has the men leaning in for a kiss. Cardi is hypnotized. The frenzy is that she is sitting and just allowing, for lack of a better term, her aura and essence to draw the men in. When bees go around, the flower doesn't move but so much unless the wind moves them. She is just sitting in her perfection. Okay? She is sitting here. And if you are a bee that wishes to buzz around and receive the gift of her pollen, you got to come closer. And then it gets stuck on you. It gets stuck on you. He said it was on camera when he checked the guy. That's what Vince said earlier in the comments here. I wonder if that's the argument we see with him and Darius at the trailer. I also said the guy who snitched to Miss GoFundMe did it to gain favor with the ladies. Jaguar, we are on the same page. We see each other. In my Candy Burris voice. Yes, siren energy, but what else is beneath the bells and the whistles? We don't know. It's for the men. Remember that siren song is not for us. We don't hear it and we don't fall into it. Well, folks, listen on the ride home. Glad to have you, Delphine Azul. Drive safely, okay? Amazing analogy with the bee. I always think of that when thinking of, how when they say women should sit in their feminine energy, women should da-da-da-da. I'm not one of them women unless I want to be, okay? I have my occasions. But when we say birds and bees and all that stuff, yes, the same thing with birds. Birds don't, when they go in to eat, they just sit and they watch, and the worm just does a little bit of a wiggle, and the bird snatch them up. The man is the bird, and you are the worm with a little bit of wiggle, and the bird, zones in on that worm and snatches it up. That's another analogy I have heard. Very shiny things, but let's dig deeper. Okay. It's only 8 guys. Why do y'all think who do y'all think snitched, Devin or Ed? Well, Jaguar just said he thinks it's Darius. Jaguar thinks it's Darius. But I don't know who's talking to Christina. All I know is Christina got 3. She got Chris, that we know of, Bello, and Chris, Bello, and Devin. And then we don't know who Vince is chatting to in the men group. It always strikes me as different when these people who have never known each other before now I don't know, some of these people could be friends, but I'm going to put it on, we never knew each other. But all of a sudden, I trust you with bro code and girl code? No. We're in a competition. Thank you, man, for saying it. I guess she's here. Oh, my word. No, you didn't. Oh, my gosh. No, you didn't. You hear both. I tend to lightly hear sirens. I see their true face, LOL. So could Vince with the light on. I mean, we don't know all of Dominique's attachments, but maybe maybe Rana, maybe you're talking about Vince being able to see their true face. Vince did see the underline of the cover-up tattoo. So maybe that's what you're saying, that Vince can see a little bit more than average person. Okay? Surprisingly, Christina and Dominique are extremely close. They are hugged up, rubbing on each other and touchy-feely. Neither of them sat close to Bello. It looked like they had the closest connection. Oh, Christina and Dominique? Okay. This whole thing of Ready to Love is to me, it's Ready to Date exclusively. We ain't getting married after this. Yeah, why is he talking so loosely in front of the fellas using the B word? Now, some people make excuses for Vince saying he's a comedian, but again, when people tell that to me, I say, well, Richard Pryor was, a comedian that used colorful language, but when he was, talking on interviews and stuff, he knew how to code switch and not use that language. You don't know these people. You're in a competition. No, I don't know. I was asking because you said Vince said he checked the guy. So I was wondering, it was Darius based on an argument. I have no facts to think it's one guy in particular. Okay, Jaguar. Yeah, he cannot say who it is because, of course, he said it was on camera. When he came in, he said that, Christina lied on him, or the person lied to Christina about him. And I said, well, if they lie, I hope you check them. And you could go back and also look at it. He said, yeah, he checked them. And I said, well, who was it? I said, dang, was it on camera? He said it was on camera. So because of that, we don't know if it'll be seen or not. So I told him if it is not seen, if he would come back to the channel after everything, when he can actually speak and actually tell us who it was, how he checked them, and why do we think it was left out, if it is left out. Okay? We don't know. We don't know. None of us know. We're just speculating. I like Dominique. I'm not distracted by the aesthetics. However, she's charming, very charming. Yes, she is. She's very charming. Very charming. She is a lady that knows exactly how to charm people, because she charmed the ladies too. You realize that, Rana? She charmed the ladies too, because when she said, ladies, I see y'all tonight, and as a fashion consultant, as a stylist, I would not have designed any of you any different. Really? Okay. That was charming. But I'm your fashion less friend. I am not the fashion girly at all. But there's some I would have styled different. But hey, that's just me. There's some I would have styled different, especially for the theme of the night. There's one in particular I didn't get the theme. It's like, oh, really? What part of it is the theme? Okay, I see one part. Okay, that's about it. Okay. Is it charming or sizing up her competition? She is playing the game. Of all the people playing the game, Dominique playing that game, and she playing it well. She's playing it well. As our newest person in here um said that, she's a siren. Blade Owens, Blade Owens is saying, hey, she is definitely needs to teach a class. Okay. I hate to hear people call anyone the B word. It really bothers me when women refer to themselves as a bad B or refer to their friends as one. Yeah, same to go to Africa. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But that's just my personal preference. I'm not gonna call, I'm gonna call you a bad mama jamma. But I'm not gonna call you that. I don't use the N word, but that's just a personal preference. Just personal preference. If somebody calls it to me, I'm gonna correct them. And then it's like, oh, okay. Then you just need to correct it. That's all. There's some she would have styled different too. Yeah, I think so. I think you would have styled them different too as well, just Rhonda 01. There's at least one. Same. Hey, that's why y'all my people. But if I have no judgment on you, if you wish to be referred to as that, but I just won't do it to you. I would not refer to you as such. But that's just my personal preference. Okay. But y'all, it has been a wonderful evening. Thank you, Vince, for taking it up a notch, for visiting the comments, for coming out of the bushes. Thank you, Vince, for coming out of the bushes and clear up as much as you can, because we understand around here. We just appreciate the 5 minutes, 10 minutes that you did give to us. And we're glad you didn't come through here trying to, flex your pectorals. Save that for Donna, okay? But we see production around here. We know this is an edited, produced show. I am only commenting on what we have seen on the show. I know there are podcasts out there with people clearing things up, but I'm going to stay as close to the show as possible. And I'm not watching those so much so that I can give my hypothesis and theories as they come along. But thank you all so much for being here. My next live is going to be for members on Thursday. We are going to recap and review and do a little reaction to one of the secondary Pop the Balloon channels. We have written permission to do it. So we're going to do one of those Thursday at 7 p.m. EST. But for everyone else, Friday at 5 p.m. EST, I do unscripted, where you, the audience, decide what we're going to talk about. We don't have to talk about Ready to Love Detroit. We could talk about anything around here. Okay. Also, Love is Blind Italy. The episodes are out. I'm going to upload the shorts for members first. There's a lot of content coming out, so make sure you have your notifications. And then also on Friday, I'm going to be live starting at 7:45 p.m. EST for when Ready to Love starts at 8 p.m. EST, and we could watch it together and be in the comment section. Thank you all so much for being here. As always, we had fun. And as I always say, I'll see you on the next one.